Mac Jones went to a playoff game with the Patriots. Trevor Lawrence has been to the playoff once. He's won a playoff game. Joy, what does the Mac Jones trade mean for a quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, who we heralded as maybe the greatest quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck or John Elway? What's it mean for Trevor Lawrence?
Boy, we really overdid it with this one, huh? We were like, we should change the rules so a freshman can come out of college. That's not his fault. That's not your fault, Trevor. That's our fault. By the way, Trevor Lawrence has won a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I don't think this means anything. I think Trevor Lawrence, for all of our fodder, we gave him a pass on his rookie season, right? We're not going to talk about that. But we all just decided as a community we were just going to disregard that, not hold that against him.
He's in 2 years.
He's in his second year.
Yeah.
Right. This is the math that we're doing. This is called football math. This is football media math. This is girl math and football media math, and that's what we're doing with Trevor Lawrence. I don't think this means much. I think it says way more about Mac Jones that he's on the market for a 6th-round pick, being that he came into the league the way that he did as a 1st-round pick. I think it's a really smart move for them to have a solid backup that has a lot of starting experience, a lot of playing experience. Every team should be actively looking to deepen their roster at the quarterback position as long as it doesn't cause too much commotion within the building, which I don't think that this does. I don't think anyone thinks Mac Jones is coming in there and taking over the starting position for Trevor Lawrence. We're talking about, do they battle in camp? Let's be serious.
Yeah. I don't think it's that.
I mean, let's be serious. I think this, if it does push him, maybe it's a good thing. It's good to have a little competition, keep you on your toes. This is a competitive league. I think it's a great move for them to bring him in, have a solid backup. I think it will push Trevor Lawrence a bit, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence, in technically going into his 3rd year in the league, he has a lot of developing to do still, and I think that we're probably exaggerating what we expect from him. He did win a playoff game. He has the same amount of playoff wins as Kirk Cousins, okay, in going into his 13th. Not to bring up old stuff, but
crazy playoff game he won.
Here's my question, because I don't want to throw a wrench in it, but I have to.
Yeah.
Because I agree with Joy that we do discount Trevor Lawrence's rookie year because there was so much craziness going on coaching-wise, obviously. But then we have to give that same grace to Mac Jones, do we not? Rookie year, he has McDaniels. McDaniel leaves. His 2nd year coaching, he has a combination of Matt Patricia, who was hired by the Philadelphia Eagles in the middle of the season to be their defensive coordinator. And he also had Joe Judge, a special teams coach, to be his quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. And then this past year, he has Bill O'Brien. I trust Doug Peterson, head coach for the Jags. I trust his eyes for talent, trust his eyes for quarterback. Doug Peterson, a former quarterback under Andy Reid. So while we can discount Mac Jones and take Mac Jones unseriously, if Trevor Lawrence is only going on year 2, obviously figuratively speaking, Mac Jones is a rookie. Mac Jones has had worse coaching experience in the NFL than I would suggest even Trevor Lawrence has, because at least Lawrence has had Doug Peterson for the last 2. Yeah. Mac had McDaniels gone, Patricia, Judge, gone.
They did that.
And then he had Bill O'Brien.
Baffling things that's ever.
It's great. We should have talked about that more. It's really crazy they did that.
Think about that.
I don't disagree with you. I think Mac has had a terrible circumstances he's had to deal with in the league. I don't disagree with you. But I do think that Trevor Lawrence is better. He's more talented. He was picked where he was and touted the way he was for a reason. And even though he has had an easier run as far as all that chaos goes, he's still better right now.
James, what's it say to you? Because trading for a #1 overall pick formerly, who's only in his 4th year, going into his 4th year, no small thing. I don't care what you gave up. No. It's no small thing because it's controversy. Yeah. Speaking from experience, if they bring in a kid from your draft class, kid you grew up going up against, high school recruiting going up against, college playing against, same draft class, it at least matters psychologically. Yeah. It's one thing you bring in an old head to back you up. Oh, this dude ain't finna do nothing. It's one thing you bring in a young pup to back you up. Yeah. But if you bring in your peer, that matters. Yeah. Does it matter to you?
It does, and I'm with Joy. I don't think this is something that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to come out like, we have a training camp battle. No. But what this does say is, don't play well and see what's going to happen. And for Trevor Lawrence, it really, for me, every time you make one of them mistakes is,
what's that right there?
You're going to look over that shoulder, and you're going to see what's behind you now. You're going to see what's behind you. I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but it was myself, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, right? The very next year, we drafted Jordy Nelson. Rest in peace, Ted Thompson. He's like, this means nothing for you, JJ. like, we drafted, cool. We get out there and trade it. Why he in the rotation? What you mean this means nothing? So we've seen this plenty of times to where coaches do this. It might not mean nothing. Don't play well. and see what happens. I think that's what this is. He's 69 touchdowns, 60 turnovers. 1 winning season in 3 seasons. And yeah,
Trevor or Mac?
Trevor Lawrence. No.
The record still counts.
Three seasons, right? And the playoff win, God is good.
All the time.
Why do you say that like he's talking to one of the boys?
You know what I'm
though?
saying? God is good, because
Don't
that's how that one got done. But he has not been playing lights out. And then you bring in a first-round quarterback in your draft class. To me, this is not saying quarterback battle, but don't play well is telling me, and you're going to be standing next to me in a polo.
It's not, you have your coach
In a
voice on when you
Jacksonville
say
polo.
that, though. Don't you see him saying it? Don't play well.
You know what I'm saying? And he going to have one of these in, too, and he going to be like, Mac Jones, hey, you heard that call? Yeah, we heard it.
I hate to push back on a guy who's actually had to look over his shoulder. I get it, but and look, guys, I didn't know how I was going to shoehorn Dak Prescott into this show. But I have an opening now. I have an opening now because it reminds me of the Cowboys trading for Trey Lance last year. But James,
I thought you were going to say the Romo.
No.
I thought he was too. Wait, break this down.
What just happened last year? The Cowboys traded a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance, a guy that the 49ers spent way more to get. Yeah. And it's 2 weeks of controversy. What does this mean?
Dak played at all-pro level.
Yeah,
too.
Dak went out and threw 36 touchdowns. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Trevor's going to be fine.
Okay.
Trevor hasn't lived up to the hype. And Trevor probably gets too much of a pass for his struggles because of where he was drafted, but he's a damn good quarterback. And if the Jags decided today they wanted to trade him, he'd get a hell of a lot more in return than a 6th-round pick. This says everything about Mac Jones, because keep in mind, a lot of the people from earlier in Mac Jones' tenure are still in New England. Gerard Mayo knows Mac Jones. He's been around. And they said, get this guy out of here. Not like he's 15th overall pick. We can work with him.
But
what did Pittsburgh just do to Kenny Pickett? They're like, well, we'll keep him around.
I have to push back, though, Dave Helman.
New England, they're like, no, there's no work to be done here.
I would say this, though. It's Trey Lance we thought was an incompetent quarterback, like quarterback play.
Never seen him play.
Mac Jones, we've seen him play well.
Yes.
9-8, if I'm not mistaken, went to the playoffs rookie season. They got blasted by the Buffalo Bills. But we've seen him play well. I would also say Mac Jones has proven like he can play in the NFL. He's proven he can play now.
How about this for a rebuttal then? Because I think this is important. And you can get in trouble. You know, I'm guilty of it. I Google it. I'm like, how many games did Trevor play last year? He played 16. Oh, he's a healthy guy. No, he's not.
Yeah, he'd be banged up.
Trevor Lawrence got beat to hell last year. He had a knee bruise, played on it on short rest. He had a high ankle sprain. Remember, he messed up his ankle, and everybody was like, is he ever going to walk again?
Came back.
And then he played the next week. Yeah. He had a concussion. He had an AC joint sprain. The dude was held together by duct tape by the end of the year. So if a starting quarterback is available for a 6th-round pick, good on Jacksonville for ensuring that position with a guy who can play.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so because my man battled injuries. Joy saying 2 years, but 3 years winning season. Let's say he does get beat up a little bit, some bumps and bruises.
Sure.
And misses a couple games in a row. And Mac Jones.
Wally Pipp?
No, I'm just saying, and Mac Jones,
It's not Wally
a
Pipp.
first-round quarterback that you traded for, comes in there and wins 3 games in a row. Is he walking back into his starting spot, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the point that Dave made about what you would get on the market, I think, is very solid. If Trevor Lawrence was on the market, ain't nobody pick up the phone. I have a 6th-round pick available
They would
for
do
you,
the Russell
Jacksonville.
Wilson deal for Trevor Lawrence in a heartbeat.
They dislocate their elbow slamming that phone down.
Absolutely.
So, yes, there is a difference between Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence. Whether it is fares for Ferris wheels and fried Oreos, whether it is fair or not is really irrelevant. He's had a really rough go, Mac Jones. And I think Mac Jones is actually, to your point, we've seen him play at a high level. I don't think he's as bad as we think
he's
he
not.
is.
He's
I
not.
don't, but he's still not Trevor Lawrence.
He's not until. But here's a question, actually. Is Trevor Lawrence Trevor Lawrence? Because I actually don't know what that means anymore. He's still not Trevor
if we're
Lawrence.
comparing Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, taking the numbers out, what's the difference?
To me, to some degree, the same dude. One got a playoff win.
Does that matter?
To me, playoff wins.
I think it should matter. I think it is actually the differentiator right now. Now, all of us, I think, would say Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. They played each other, which is the other thing that we always argue is the point. You guys went against each other, right? The head-to-head matchup. We go through all the numbers and everything. Okay, you're more talented, I'm more talented. Cool. We play each other. What happens? Now, a lot happened in that game, I understand. But at the end of the day, there's a win-loss column, and that's what we measure greatness on.
What point are you making?
I'm saying that Trevor Lawrence, is not a bad quarterback.
No,
He's
of
not
course
as
not.
good.
Of
He's
course
not
not.
as good as we thought he was going to be, and he is certainly not bad. And his career in Jacksonville is not over because Mac Jones has arrived in town in exchange for a sixth-round
What's
pick.
interesting, though, is this is a year that you either pay Trevor or pick up that fifth-year option. So I also find it fascinating.
Would you be shocked? Because I wouldn't be. Would you be shocked if Trevor Lawrence had a multi-year deal in place before the season starts?
I think they'll pick up the fifth-year option and make him play now. I think
so?
now that you've acquired Mac, and not that it means anything.
Mac doesn't have a longer-term future than
But
Trevor
that's my
does.
point. Now you can just kind of juggle it out because they're both the same age to some degree. They're both third year going on their fourth year. And if you was going to pay Trev, I don't know that you would have done this.
Guys.
That's my only thing.
I know we are all very upset at ourselves for getting a little too crazy about Trevor Lawrence. Okay, I know. I understand. We like to,
I like
hedge our bets here a little bit. But like
Generational got thrown around a lot that year.
It did. We did it too much.
Yeah.
We did too much. Okay?
like Trevor.
We can admit we were wrong, right? We did too much. But like Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones are not the same.
I mean, but
No.
that's what I'm. No, talent-wise, no. But I'm just saying the way
What they've done, too. I
The
mean,
man got 60 turnovers in 3 years, the most.
he fumbles
out
the
of
ball. He
everybody.
fumbles
Not
too
good.
much. He doesn't hold on to the
Also,
ball that well.
I'm reminded of who's doing it. Doug Peterson's doing it. How'd Doug Peterson win a Super Bowl? Joey brought this up earlier with the backup quarterback. Carson Wentz a really good talent, but Nick Foles in pivotal moments got the stuff done. So I also think who's the dude masterminding all of this matters.
Mac Jones was getting benched for Bailey Zappi.
But remember, you got to ask yourself the why, though.
Others. No.
I'm just-
You outlined what happened. Like what you said about New England should be played on inside the
matters.
building on a loop. We did. We made all these choices, right? Now the guy who made those choices isn't there anymore. But you did stand up in front of us with a serious face and do that Joe Judge, Matt
Patricia.
Patricia
That's crazy.
contraption, which is just it is unhinged. Okay, an unhinged choice. I agree. He also gets a pass for a year on that. I'm going to give them both a pass on that year. That's insane. So I do hear
Very
you.
gracious
I'm being
on
very
Joe's
gracious today.
part.
I'm in a mood. I just don't think that they are the same. Like, I think
agree
that
with that.
Trevor Lawrence,
Talent-wise, I
despite
agree
the fact that he's had struggles, I think this is a great backup move.
It's something about them making this move, though. You host a really good pod.
Oh.
NFL. What is
Yeah,
it?
NFL on
NFL
Fox
on
podcast.
Fox.
So
Thank you.
what if tomorrow I did a pod here at Fox and it was named the same name, but I only had 2 followers on that thing? You wouldn't look like,
wouldn't
what they
feel-
doing?
I wouldn't feel great about that.
That's all I'm
Trevor Lawrence
saying.
has a little more leeway than I do. I
I'm
think.
just
A little
saying,
more
this
job
man is
security.
first round.
First round, though, man.
Showed you he can play the game of football. I'm not saying it's a quarterback competition, right? But get
It's
hurt
something.
and think it's something to
It's
it.
something. I'm
It's
telling
gotta be
you,
something.
you don't bring in a first-round quarterback on
Look
this
over
first.
that shoulder.
I'm going to
man.
hit the group chat when Trevor signs his extension this summer.
Please do.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.